Okay, so the job we're next going to tackle now is I'm going to be installing jail bars onto the rear window of my split screen camper van. But this is applicable to bay windows or any other camper van that has jail bars. So, not a lot of space. So this is what came in the kit. Can't remember where I bought this from. It's not brilliant quality compared to the originals. We've got a die cast. This goes in the centre. It is die cast, but it's not very good really. We've got the two actual bars that run across. See, if I hold this at the same length, the bars are actually different lengths, so we'll come on to the reason for that later. We've got the 4 end brackets, a number of, they're not self-tapping screws, just posi headed screws, and that's pretty much it in the kit. So looking at the tools we're going to be using: Sharpie marker, posi head screwdriver, a couple of small drills. This is 1.6mm diameter and a 2mm diameter. A centre punch. This is spring loaded, just makes life easy. Got a micrometer to check my drill sizes, and a DeWalt battery drill with any drill, battery or otherwise. So the only other thing I'm going to be using is, you see here I've got a self-tapping, and this is a self-tap. It's a hex head which goes into the drill quite well, and it's also got a drill bit end, and this is really useful for making sure you've got the right pilot size hole for that particular thread. So first thing we're going to do is mark the holes. I've already taken a measurement between the length of the window to make sure I'm at the centre, and then I am just going to mark the centre of the holes with the Sharpie.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we are going to drill the first pilot hole. No, we're not. We're going to use the centre punch and centre punch the 3 holes. Okay, now we're going to, it's difficult because I've got to hold this there, but we're going to drill these 3 holes. There's 1. 2. 3. Okay. Now I'm going to go up to the 2mm drill. Yeah, 80 thousandths of an inch, 2mm. I want to put this drill quite a long way into the chuck, just so it gives it some extra stability. So now just going to open these holes out. Okay, now I'm going to change to, I'm going to put the hex head self-tapper in. You know, because it's got a hex head, it locates really well on the 3 jaws of the chuck. You see, if I put the speed up, you can see it's running true. So now I'm just going to you can see that's just opened the hole out and the thread started. I'm not bottoming out. If I then reverse it, so now we've got the correct threading for the screws we're going to use. So change the direction again. Okay, second one. On the third one. Okay, so we've now got our 3 holes, so I'm just going to put this and hope that the screws are the right thread. Not. Oh. on. It does help if you've got a magnetic screwdriver. I'm just going to pinch these up to make sure they're correct. Right, okay. So you don't need to really tighten them too much because you don't want to strip the thread. Okay, so there we go, pretty solid. So we've got our centre bar in. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put these two bars in and figure out why the one's longer than the other. And I know the reason for that. It's because the window actually tapers. So the one bar can be a bit shorter than the other. Right, so I'll get those two bars in and now put the ends on. I'll see if I've got the right bar in the right. So I'm just making sure these bottom out. Oh, I'm pretty sure I've got these the wrong way around now, because that one is well short of my actual window frame that I need to drill into. So I'm just going to swap those over. Obviously sod's law that you get it wrong the first time. That's the top. Just put this in there. Stab my daughter with it. Okay. Okay, just double check that these are correct. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make sure that the majority of this bracket is sitting on the window frame, and then make sure this side looks even. There's probably a couple of millimeters of play, but it's looking okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to make sure that my tailgate can shut without any of these fouling or catching anything. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Right, so I'm happy I've got the right bar in the right hole. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark the first one. Okay, and I'll do this end again and mark this one. Just going to make sure it's correct. Yeah, okay. Actually, wiggle that a little bit. Level with the inside. Level with the inside. There's an old saying, measure twice, cut once. This is applicable to this. Always double check it before you actually drill any holes. Here's something interesting. So I've just noticed, you'll see that inside this hole, you can actually see the Sharpie marker inside. On the back, the hole hasn't actually moulded through. These are not die cast. These are actually plastic injection moulding, which is pretty poor really. So I just need to push that hole through. So I'm just going to use my hole punch, poke that hole through, and now I need to remark that again. So make sure I'm lined up with the original hole I marked. So you can see now we've got the two holes, the two markings for that one. I'm not going to do the other end yet. I'm going to drill this one first, fix it in, and that'll make sure I'm the right length for the other end. So again, line this up, sharpen mark, make sure, right, so I've got my holes. I'm going to leave these bars in, just going to slide them out of it, slide them down out of the way while I drill the holes. So now back to my pilot drill. Again, I'm putting that drill quite a long way into the chuck. Okay, so what I want to do first of all is mark the centre. So we've got our centre punched holes, and now drill these. Seems quite a bit harder to drill on these ends for some reason. It could be that the metal pressing has got slightly thicker metal towards the ends. Grab me bloody drill. That would be the next door neighbours coming in. Always make sure you got a spare drill handy. Good drill those. Okay. So now I'm just going to open those out. Next door neighbours, me a new drill bit. Okay, so now we're going to use the self-tapper. Notice I'm locating the hex head just inside the chuck. Tighten her up. I'm actually going to go to a lower speed to start with this. And then reverse. Reverse. Okay, so there we've got our 4 holes for our end pieces. So I'll just screw those in. I'm not going to do them up yet until we've got the bar in. I'll just pinch them up. They're all lined up. Bloody hell. More haste, less speed. Okay, so just pinching those up. Now I can bring the bars through and locate into those. Cheap Chinese crap, no doubt. Okay, just make sure those bottom out. And now I can put the other ends on and mark those. Do them both at the same time. Oh, I'll try and move my hand so you can see what I'm doing. So just want to look at where that one is, okay. Okay, so we've got our 4 marks. Oh. And it's the same again basically, we're just going to drill the same holes. Drill. Actually, to get these out of the way, I'm just going to pull them out and then feed them through so they're not in my way when I'm doing the drilling. Okay, oh, centre punch. The reason I'm moving around, I'm trying to make sure the centre punch is in the centre that way and also in the centre that way. Okay. So just open those out. You won't really see any metal come out of this because it's like only 0.4 of a millimetre, but it gives the next self-tapping screw a better start. Oh, more hasteless speed. Back to the slower speed, and reverse it. There we go. 4 screws left. Yeah, it was good. So now just gonna pull these balls back through and locate them. So it's not fully tight yet. If you've got the bracket. Okay, so that's looking good, so I'm just going to pinch these up now. These are tight. And then lock these. And there we have it. There's our gel bars fitted. Hope that helps someone. Cheers.